Right.
Right.
3, 2, 1. Hey, everybody. Welcome to another episode of Ranger and Chow. Here we are.
Hope everybody's doing
drinking
well.
the
I hope everybody's
beers.
drinking plenty.
Chow's drinking the bourbons. And it's just a great day to be alive. So don't forget to subscribe. If you see our little red button down in the corner there, click on it. We appreciate it. Keeps us going week after week, month after month, year after year. Appreciate it.
But to be honest, even if you don't do it, we're still going to be here. But we just appreciate it more if you did.
That's right. And if you don't, stick it up your bum.
That's
so
right.
Moving on.
Like a suppository. Anyway,
we just thinking about something before, talking about people online when YouTube channels and stuff like that, because obviously, that's what we're doing. It's interesting to see what other people are up to. And you mentioned something to me about Vlad and Nikki. So who are Vlad and Nikki?
So Vlad and Nikki are two Russian children, probably in the range of 5 to 10 mark over the years they've been doing it. And two little brothers, the mother is involved in it. And it's just little nonsense clips of, the expensive toys they have, little remote, like drive around cars and stuff they do. And it's just nonsense. They're nonsense episodes. They use nonsense sound effects.
How many people watching this?
I looked on the weekend because my son likes it. He's 4 years old and they watch awful things. That's one of his favorites. And 73.8 million subscribers. Most of it is not audible, like there's not exactly a lot of words and stuff, and I think some of it is a little bit of
Russian.
English,
how can your kid understand Russision?
Well, that's it. They do speak English. Obviously, Russians have a bit of English in their culture there, but so they speak broken English. It's pretty ordinary, but it's just shit. It is just shit, and
Mate.
He loves it. Absolutely loves it. You turn the TV on, mate. What do you want to watch on TV? We've got Disney, we've got Netflix, we've got Stan, we've got Prime, and then you've got YouTube. Dad, let's go to YouTube. I want to watch Vlad and Nikki.
I've been following a dude called Dan the Man, and the reason I follow this guy is he's based in Thailand, which is of course where I like to travel to. But he's very open about the channel. He explains a lot about how to make money out of YouTube and all that stuff, and he teaches people how to do what he's done. And he seems like a really good dude too, but it's just good to get that.
It's funny that we're still at the bottom end of that scale. But yeah, cool.
Yeah. Well, look at us, mate. Yeah. But you never know, do you? You got to watch this shit to learn how to do it.
You've learned a lot in your time.
I've done so much shit over the years, mate. I tell you, I can do anything except build a science lab.
Oh, look, I could probably build the lab. Whether it'll stay up for long is another thing, but I can build it. I can build anything.
You're good with your hands, are you, mate?
You remember that retaining wall that time?
Oh, hey, look, speaking about overseas stuff, mate, I've got to tell you, I've had some good overseas experiences with you, but I've had some good experiences overseas with a lot of people. You know what I'm saying? Like, basically, if it's in a third world country, I've probably been there and done it and almost got shot. I remember being held up. I had an AK-47 pushed against my temple. This was in the Dominican Republic, just near Haiti. And it was when the civil war was going on over there. Well, not civil war, but the war between Haiti and the Dominican Republic. The dude shoves his rifle in the side of my head. We're at an intersection in a taxi. And I'm like, this isn't good. I'm pretty sure I'm about to die. And all he wanted was my video camera.
They weren't your favourite knickers, were they?
All he wanted was my video camera. Yeah, you go take the video camera, man. Just don't blow my head off. It's like $800 video camera. I don't care. Anyway, he took it and off he ran with his AK-47 down the street. Just some of the experiences that I've been through overseas.
Now, I got to ask you.
Or jumping off a perfectly good building with someone like you. That didn't help.
I've got a video of you calling it a perfectly good building that you were jumping off as well. But no, as a person that I've been held up twice. Once was with a machete and a metal pole, and the other time was a gun. And it was actually a fake gun, not that I'm well versed enough in guns to look at that and go, hey, that won't kill me, so I'm just going to ignore you. I just complied with his wishes, but it was only a little fake pistol. That struck enough fear into my body, having that pointed at me, Do you reckon there's a variation as to how scared you are having an automatic weapon as opposed to a semi-automatic?
Absolutely. Because my security guys, when I was in the Dominican Republic,
The
they used
fact
to
you've got
carry,
security with you is an issue.
yeah. Well, there's a lot of abductions there and stuff like that, ransoms. So I had
Especially
security
pretty white
guys.
boys like you.
Absolutely. He's a nice white boy. Let's get him some money for sure. They'll pay lots for him.
Yeah,
Anyway.
we've known him for years.
So I had the guys that were walking, and they're all carrying, right? They're all hot, and their pistols and that sort of thing doesn't really bother you. But when I did have the automatic rifle pointed at the side of my head, I got to say it was pretty friggin' terrifying. I just thought any second now, it's just like you're just waiting for it. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
But
no, I'll bet.
pointed
So
at the
anyway,
side of your head, pretty scary.
I can. Yeah, again, having a small gauge weapon pointed at me was well and truly enough for me, because death is death to me, whether it's a rocket launcher or a crossbow being pointed at my brain. Death is death. Either one's going to have the same result for my life, and it's not good. So I don't like those things happening to me. But on the flip side, you and I in our traveling experiences, do you remember one particular evening? We were out, and without getting ourselves into trouble, we did come across a lot of Russian people while we were over in Thailand.
Oh, was that the crazy Russian dude at dinner?
I wouldn't call him crazy. He's just passionate. But no, obviously, a lot of people that we came
crazy
across
man. What are you talking about?
Yeah, well, I was just being nice. But a lot of people we came across, we did tend to find a lot of the Russians were very standoffish and didn't want to have much to do with us. They seemed rather aggressive and not happy to be there, whereas us as Australians, 9 times out of 10, we were drunk and we were damn happy to be there. So we were much more jovial. And with that in mind, we sort of started to get a bit of a stereotype of, okay, the Russians aren't here to enjoy our brand of stupidity. But then one particular evening, we were sitting around playing bar games, drinking with the bar staff and having a laugh with people as they came along. And there's a little bell you can ring. And if you ring that bell, you buy everybody a drink. And, Rang has got plenty of money, especially when we're in Thailand, that converts well. And we rang that a few times. And eventually we had one particular Russian gentleman that was incredibly jovial. I'll hand over to Ranger to tell you a little bit more about this in particular gentleman.
Well, this is very unfortunate that you're throwing to me at this point in time, because I must have been very drunk, because I have no recollection of this at all. So you're going to have to tell the story, mate.
Yeah, sure. Why not? I like the same voice. Comes into the bar and we ring the bell and he introduced himself. I was drunk, so I don't remember, but he introduced himself and he starts telling us that we do the whole casual, what do you do for a living? I hunt Russian mafia for a living.
Oh, yes, I do remember this guy. I hunt Russian mafia, and I like track them down. I put bullet in head. I killed him like a rabbit.
He's showing us photos on his phone of these guns that were like taller than me.
Oh, dude.
Big smiles on his face in the photo. He was a dead set 100% killer and loved it. And was over there. He was the happiest Russian I have ever met. And what?
Yeah. I remember saying to him, that's right. That was the night we had the pig on the spit at the Blue Healer Bar in Pattaya, Thailand. That's right. And he was sitting next to me, and he's showing me photos. He's going, "Look, this is me. Just stand on top of dead mafia right here. See, I cop him in the head. He gone now. He's no more. I'm very happy."
This is exactly why I wanted to tell the story, because I love your Russian accent. It's so good.
It was nuts. I couldn't believe it. And I'm sitting next to him trying to eat my pig on the spit, like, oh shit, this dude's crazy.
Like sitting down with an American, showing the big gun, and standing over the top of the carcass of the elk or the moose or whatever, or an Australian standing over the top of a giant wild boar with our gun. But this bloke was standing over a dead body of a Russian mafia fellow with his giant gun, and he was happy as shit.
I have something very similar to that happened to me in Hong Kong, right? So I don't know if you remember, because this is about 20 years ago. You might be too young for this, but there was a submarine.
Good chance I don't remember what happened to you before I met you. Yeah, sure, go on.
There was a nuclear Russian submarine called the Kursk, and it sank somewhere, and they couldn't. The Russians weren't going to say where it was or whatever. Theoretically, this is where the movie The Hunt for Red October came from. Anyway,
that's a movie
so
I haven't seen.
I was in this bar, and all these American submariners were in there, all these sailors, and the Russian submarine, the Kursk, had just sunk, and I went up to this American guy just as a joke, and I said, "Hey, how about those Russians, eh? Can't drive a sub to save their lives." And this dude has looked at me like he's about to rip my freaking head off. And I'm just like, oh, okay, now I get it. Whether you're a Russian or American or English or Australian, submariners, you're all the same guys. Now I get it. And he's like just
no matter where you're from, that joke wasn't funny.
No. So I've like just grabbed my drink and scurried away and sat in the corner and hoped that the American sailors aren't going to beat the shit out of me for the rest of the night.
That's all right. My wife and I were over in Japan, and we were enjoying ourselves. And most night you'd have a few drinks because obviously the chat likes to drink. And one particular evening, we were a little bit at odds with each other as to where we were going to eat. So as we slowly ventured around from place to place, drinking more and more and becoming less decisive as to where we were going to eat, we eventually just found a bar and drank instead. And while we're sitting here drinking our liquid dinner, these two American blokes walked in, Brad and his mate. And I'm actually friends with this Brad fella on Facebook now. And they were ex-military, had moved over to Japan to live out the rest of their days because they were both, obviously on a pension stuff from injuries and things. And they were just showing us little, wrist locks and thumb locks and stuff. And just, my wife and I drunk as in Japan, getting, a thumb twist and just fall into the floor. This bloke's walking around he's walking around with legitimately a cane. He's probably your age and he's got a cane because of all injuries and shit. And just,
oh mate, that's funny.
There we go.
I love that shit. That's the whole key to traveling. I was in Venice, and
but in Japan, getting caught by Americans.
No, listen, there's a couple of girls we were talking to in Venice, and anyway, the Italians that were there got the shits with us, and they kicked us outside. So we didn't know what was going on, but they kicked us out in the street, and we were surrounded by like 6 Italians, and they're going to kick the shit out of us. And we're going, oh no, why? What have we done? They're like, you talk to the girls. You're not Italian. You don't talk to our girls. And then miraculously, like 25 American sailors turn up from nowhere, and they go, this was just after 9/11, and they're like, you mess with the Aussie, you mess with us. And like all the Italians, are just looking around going,
terrible American accent, by the
way. This just got real bad real quick. So the Italians scurried off, and then we hung out with the Americans for the rest of the night. And they're buying us shots and this, that, and all the other and stuff. I was so sick after spending that night with the Americans that these are all sailors from a battleship, from a frigate that was in at Venice at the time. But I was so sick from that night with those Yanks that it took me 2.5 days to get out of the bathtub. I was just vomiting all over myself for days.
You know what's funny?
Never forget it.
My wife and I were very, very dusty after our night with the Americans as well. I mean, granted,
that's great.
We were maggot before we met them. It just got worse from there. But I'm just going to go out there. No disagreement, no hatred. With America, it's your fault that we had a hangover.
That's right. Damn you, America. This is a long video. I think we should wind this up.
Definitely, because one, I need to go and relieve myself from my multitude of bourbons. 2, I have a wife and kid that are waiting desperately for me to rejoin them in the real world.
Even better information.
And 3, drink more. Drink every day.
Don't forget to subscribe, everybody. Hit that red button. Thank you for watching. I know we rambled on a bit, but that tends to happen on an afternoon in Australia.
And when COVID's over, let's all travel some more. Cheers, everybody.
Cheers, everybody. All right.
Oh, cheers.
Mate, that's pretty funny.
That was good. It's been an absolute fucking